Residents in Arroyo City are worried about getting the right help dispatched to them when they call 911. This after a delay in a call for a medical emergency.
Channel 5's Daisy Martinez went looking for answers. She's live now from the Cameron County newsroom with more. Daisy.
It turns out the caller was rerouted several times before the correct ambulance service was dispatched to Arroyo City. The delay was just a matter of minutes, but for those who live and work in Arroyo City, they say this time could make the difference between life and death. A heart attack is a medical emergency that leaves little room for errors. Arroyo City resident and volunteer fire department chief John Whalen was called out recently to help a man suffering a heart attack.
After the initial call, we were activated 12 minutes after.
The man did not survive. Whalen says there was a delay in transferring the call to the South Texas Emergency Care Foundation, which responds to EMS calls in Arroyo City.
It took an extended time to get a hold of the correct medical response team to come out. Whenever they did finally notify them, we were dispatched within minutes. But it took a few extra minutes to notify the ambulance company so that they could notify us to respond.
Rene Perez, Director of Transport Services for STEC, tells us they get dispatched by cities or Cameron County based on the location of the caller requesting help. During this call, it was the Cameron County Sheriff's Office that got the initial call for help, then rerouted the call to STEC.
From the time that we got the call to the time that the unit was dispatched was less than a minute. So it was, so from our standpoint, if there's a delay before that, we don't see that because we only can pick it up from the time that we actually get the call.
Whalen claims it took several calls before Cameron County reached STEC. He showed us this diagram of how the calls were rerouted. The initial call went to Cameron County. The dispatcher then sent the call to Los Fresnos. Then it was once again rerouted to Harlingen PD before finally reaching STEC. It was all in a matter of minutes, but Whalen is concerned, especially since Arroyo City draws plenty of crowds over the summer.
For the public to be assured that their calls are going to be answered and transferred is the one issue we're not sure about.
We reached out to the Cameron County Emergency Services District, which is in charge of ensuring county areas are covered by emergency responders. The board president, Carlos Garcia, is also a captain for the Cameron County Sheriff's Department. He wasn't aware of this call in question, but said his dispatchers are highly trained. He is now looking into these claims. Last year, STEC responded to 28 calls in Arroyo City, Perez says, without issue. Whalen just wants this issue resolved.
Unfortunately, if the service does not get activated, there will be more fatalities with the age group of our community. The residents need to be ensured that when they call 911, an ambulance or a first responder or a fire is dispatched instantly for their protection and their safety.
To give the residents he serves the best chance of survival. Whalen isn't saying that the delay is what ultimately led to this man's death, but he is saying that with Arroyo City so far away, minutes cannot be lost. Live from the Cameron County newsroom, Daisy Martinez, Channel 5 News at 6.
And although Arroyo City has about 13 volunteer firefighters that live in the city, not all are trained as emergency responders. This is a Channel 5 News Extra. Chief Whalen says some of the volunteers have basic life support training, but they are currently coordinating with STEC to set up training to certify all the volunteers in the department to respond to future emergencies.
It's not certified by the state. We don't have the full credentials to get the state certification, but we still respond to all medical emergencies.
And the Arroyo City Fire volunteers are also dispatched through the 911 system. They start life-saving services when they can, since it can take up to a half hour before an STEC ambulance can arrive in Arroyo City.